Taurus, welcome to August 2018, that is. For those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the second earth sign of Taurus the Bull. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you with August coming up. Okay, so the month actually starts out with the tail end of July 31st and on into August 1st with the moon in Pisces still in your 11th house of friendships, by the way. And it opposes Venus in Virgo in your 5th house of romance and creativity. So that happens at 10 hours and 56 minutes when the moon makes this 180 degree opposition from 11th house to 5th house, creating a point of awareness between the luminary in Pisces to your ruling planet, Taurus, in Venus, which is Venus, And with Venus in your 5th house, you can feel very down to earth and practical, being that Venus is your ruling planet. Venus is in the other earth sign of Virgo. So keep this in mind, that this opposition will bring emotional, maybe rather emotionally some sort of instability with your romantic interests between friends. Maybe if you're trying to turn a friendship into a love relationship. That's all that's saying to me. Then on August 3rd, the moon trines Mercury once the moon goes into your 12th house of the subconscious mind and dreams in your neighboring fire sign of Aries, and trines Mercury, which is currently retrograde until August 19th. So this very harmonious trine from the moon in your 12th to Mercury retrograde in your 4th gives you the ability to emotionally and intellectually communicate with loved ones, maybe from the other side even. Intellectually communicate with those living and not living in a very harmonious way. Maybe there's a need to, let's see, because Mercury is in Leo currently, as well as the sun in Leo, in your 4th house of the home, so there may be a very emotionally expressive goings on within the home. And that's all I can think of for that very harmonious trine. Then the last quarter moon happens in your sign, Taurus, in your 1st house of the self and body. At 12 degrees Taurus, 19 minutes, which then proceeds to trine your ruling planet Venus again or I mean, this is a first trine to your ruling planet. But the last quarter moon phase in your first house of the house of self and body, and as you rule the neck and face area of the body, last quarter moon phases maybe makes you much more attractive in that sense to potential new, possibly, since there's going to be a new moon coming up following the last quarter moon, or maybe this gives you that ability to harmoniously, physically come across as very appealing. I know, because I got my moon in Taurus and North Node of Moon in Taurus, and the love of my life was a Taurus, and that didn't end well, though. He didn't want to be stubborn. That's the stubbornity, I guess, in Taurus. But however, this very harmonious trine to your ruling planet in the 5th house, so from the 1st to the 5th, you will come across as very appealing to the romantic partner of your choosing. And then on August 7th, Uranus, which has been transiting and will continue to transit your first house in your sign of Taurus, now that Uranus has entered Taurus back a month and a half ago or so, this planet, Uranus, actually goes retrograde at 1650, or 16 hours in military time, 1650, into the day of August 7th. And I'm not sure how that affects you, other than things might be things that are spontaneous are maybe backpedaling things or something. I don't know. I don't want to say haywire, but it seems like, because this is the planet of sudden changes and things spontaneously happening. Maybe something spontaneously will be happening to yourself, your intrinsic self. Then on August 9th, Pluto, which has been transiting your 9th house in Capricorn, opposes the moon when the moon goes into your 3rd house in Cancer. And this 180-degree opposition from Pluto in your 9th house to the moon expressing itself in your 3rd house gives you maybe a much more nurturing and a nurturing awareness to other lands, and wanting to transform things in a practical, down-to-earth way. I'm not really quite sure how this manifests for you or will be manifesting for you, but at 4 hours and 19 minutes, this opposition transpires on August 9th. I'm not really quite sure how that will affect you. Let me know what happens to you on August 9th. Something to do with communications, that I know. Then on August 11th, the new moon happens, as I was stating, in Leo at 18 degrees Leo in 42 minutes. And with this fixed energy in your 4th house of the home, it then we then see a fascinating partial solar eclipse also occurring in your 4th house, and I'm not really quite sure how that affects you, but it's something new. And for everybody, it affects a different house. For you, it's the 4th house. I'm not really quite sure how it's going to affect you, though. And then on August 13th, Mars enters Capricorn in your 9th house. So that's the first planet ingress for the month. August 14th, Mars then trines the moon when the moon goes into Virgo and trines Mars in Capricorn, so Earth, 5th to the 9th houses, this very harmonious trine. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 4 signs away, 4 houses away. A 120 degree. Even numbers are the pleasant, harmonious build up to a very rounded month. I love the month of August. It's an 8. My mother was born in August, and she's a Leo. 18. August 18th. Anyway, I gotta go visit her. It's difficult though because I don't drive. So then, let's see, and I got a dog that's drinking her water. I don't know if you can hear her. Aw. Okay. So, where was I? I miss her. Mars trine the moon. This very harmonious trine from your 9th house of long distance travel to your 5th house of romance and creativity. With this very harmonious trine, you will emotionally and harmoniously assert yourself by maybe taking your romantic partner to and with you through to a wonderful trip or vacation overseas or at a long distance. Then 2 days later from that, Mars squares the moon when the moon goes into your 6th house, into Libra, and then proceeds to square each other here. Mars squaring the moon, your 6th house of work and health. And the moon squaring Mars can be a little bit of a trifling but a good challenging aspect to whatever you're trying to emotionally assert yourself and take action in on that day. Excuse me. I was coughing a lot earlier. And then on the first quarter moon, and then on August 18th, as I was saying, my mother's birthday, the first quarter moon happens at 25 degrees Scorpio 20 minutes in your 7th house of relationships and others, which then sextiles Mars. A lot of Mars energy this month. But the moon sextiles Mars. So from the 7th to the 9th houses, you have a very short and sweet, pleasant sextile from the first happenings, first quarter phase moon in your 7th house of relationships to the 9th house with Mars. So now that sextile occurs from your opposite sun sign in Scorpio, the moon in your opposite. So there's a reflection of like intensity here, but yet in a very pleasant way, with Mars being now in a very stable, pragmatic position of Capricorn. Then on August 19th, Jupiter trines Neptune. And now you have the biggest planet of the solar system in Scorpio, and Neptune having gone into Pisces, both water signs, 7th house to the 11th house. You will have very harmonious interchanges, both spiritual planets, the lucky planet, sub-ruler of Pisces, very harmonious for a very down-to-earth, grounded Taurus. Something to do with hopes, goals, and wishes harmoniously and in a big way, taking your significant other or others into account, with interchanges harmoniously happening with friendships. Then on August 20th, the sun trines the moon when the moon goes into your 8th house of sex, death, and taxes. And now this trine happens between your 4th house with Leo on its cusp, the sun in Leo, moon in Sagittarius. From the 8th house to the 4th house, you now have this very harmonious trine between how you can emotionally attain some kind of very harmonious connection, maybe being able to receive that loan from the bank for your home improvements, something to do with the home in a very big way. Then on August 23rd, Mars conjuncts the moon in your 9th house. And with this very close-knit conjunction, or 0 to 8 degree conjunction, you now have the ability to emotionally assert yourself within some sort of publishing or law, long-distance travels, And then on the very same day, the sun enters Virgo into your 5th house. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Mercury went direct after it had been retrograde for a while. It's retrograde right now, so Mercury goes direct August 19th. Okay, that's when that goes direct. Anyhow, the sun enters Virgo on August 23rd into your 5th house of romance and creativity. So your romance will really pick up, and their light will be shed on, you will shine in romance toward the end of the month. Then on August 25th, the full moon, I guess it would be in Pisces now that, yeah, okay. So on August 25th, the full moon in Pisces in your 11th house of friendships occurs my bad. The full moon doesn't happen until there is a trine. Venus trines the moon. Okay, well the moon's back over here. Okay, moon in Capricorn. Venus in Virgo. Earth. 4 signs, 4 houses away. Venus trines the moon on August 25th. Then, after that harmonious trine, sometime after, the full moon in Pisces occurs in your 11th house. That's toward, I think, the middle to end part of the day of August 26th. Earlier part of, because 3 degrees Pisces, 12 minutes. Then on August 28th, Mars sextiles that still possibly waning full moon. See, so Earth, water, sextile. Mars in your 9th house, and the full moon in your 11th house creates this beautiful 2 sign away sextile. Mars actually goes direct on, or the day before that. Gosh darn it, I've got to rewrite this. Mars actually goes direct on August 27th. Then the final aspect of the month for you, Taurus, is when the moon goes into your 12th house, but into the sign of Aries, and squares Mars. So there will be the ability to assert yourself by going within your subconscious, moon in the 12th, and connecting to your higher mind here, since the 9th house also deals with the higher mind. Oh my God. Okay. But anywho, that is or excuse me, this will be the month of August for you. And just keep it cool. Stay cool, I mean. Go in peace. Feel free to like, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, maybe subscribe if you feel like it, and yeah, have a wonderful August, and I'll see you in September.